Well, what's up guys? This is Daniel from Arms Family Homestead, and I am extremely excited about today's video because of this wonderful orange machine sitting behind me. This is one of those project videos that I've been waiting on for weeks. The rain and the weather has just not allowed it in Oklahoma. But today, it's the last day of February. The sun's shining and it's almost 70 degrees and we haven't had a drop of rain in about 2 weeks. I called my good friends from Great Plains Kubota and GP Rents and said, hey, we need to get a project done today. And John and I from GP Rents have been talking about this thing right here in particular for several weeks. So today we're going to be testing out this tree shear. This thing, I've played around on it just a little bit this morning, trying to learn all the ins and outs before I start videoing because I've never operated this tree shear before. I have been on the Kubota skid steers multiple times. This is a tracked model. This is actually the Kubota SVL 75-2. So it's a 75 horsepower machine with a cab. It's so sweet. But I've never operated a tree shear like this. So the concept with this tree shear is it's got a grapple at the top and a set of shears at the bottom. So if that makes sense, you drive up to a tree, you clamp onto it, and then you trim it off. You just shear it off right at the ground so you don't have a big stump sticking up, and then you can literally just drive off with the tree and pile it up and do what you need to. So why would someone want to do something like this? Well, if you've ever gone out and trimmed trees along fence rows or along roads on your property with a chainsaw and had to drag limbs, this is amazing. You'll never do that again. But in Oklahoma, we have a huge problem with eastern red cedar. And I don't have too many on my property anymore. I've done a pretty good job of maintaining them. But once you leave my property and look at some of my neighbors, they're just covered in eastern red cedar, which is like a juniper tree. Evergreen, sucks all the water out of the ground, kills all the grass around it. They're just invasive. They're not really good for your landscape. This machine right here just cuts them off at the ground like a pair of scissors. And I'm also going to be cutting a lot of trees anywhere from, I would say, 2 inches up to probably 6 to 8 inches around. We've got a lot of elm trees and things in some of the fields that need to come out along field edges, along roads, just brush and trees that don't need to be there. I'm telling you what, I'm excited. So let's get this thing fired up and get to work and see what it'll do, because I'm excited. So it's nice to have something like this, clean up these field edges, and we're gonna head over here to a different spot. I kind of opened up a little road along my property line, along the fence, that before there's a giant oak tree with about 8 or 10 feet of space. It was hard to get a pickup truck through there, so I just cleaned out a spot on the other side. I'm gonna finish that up. And then I've got lots of big trees out in this field that I've tried to keep clean around and mow around, but there's places where you'll have like a 3 or 4 inch tree pop up, and they're just, it's a lot more work when you're doing it with a chainsaw and dragging them out. So we'll use this machine to just grab them, chop them off, and go stack them in the woods.
So what's up, guys? We're back with another video. Before we go down there, subscribe, notification bell, and like this video. So today, we actually don't know what we're going to do, because my dad is on a Kubota right now, kind of like this, but not the same.
It's like a tractor.
Yeah, but
It is a tractor, but different than a tractor.
Yeah. So today, my dad ran off on that, and he left his camera right here. So I think we're gonna vlog on it.
Yeah. This is gonna be pretty fun.
Okay. So we're in the garden now, and we are going to pick some carrots. Watch these big ones coming out. Jacoby, you're blocking the camera. Look at that purple one right there.
Yeah, I can't find it.
Hurry up. Got 3 seconds. 3, 2. Ooh.
This is a decent sized one.
My turn.
Oh,
This is a decent sized one too.
this is nothing.
Mole.
Houston, what do you want me to do with this?
Just throw it. That's a decent sized one too. My dad's right there.
I know.
We need to hurry up and hide. Ooh,
These are 2 decent sized ones.
ooh, yeah.
He's right there.
You can obviously hear my dad in the background. Okay, we'll see you in a second.
Wow, that's all I can really say. This machine is incredible. I've been on this thing all day. It's 5:30. I started out about 10 o'clock this morning. So for the most part, been on this thing all day. Took a little break at lunch. Gone through about 3/4 of a tank of diesel. Now I want you guys to understand, I'm not an expert when it comes to operating heavy machinery like this. And today was the first time I'd ever used a tree shear like this. And that thing is insane. It can literally cut just about any tree I ask it to cut. And with that 75 horsepower Kubota skid steer, it's got enough weight that, man, you can just clamp onto those trees and just drive off with them. I was absolutely blown away. So what's a good purpose for a machine like that, for the implement on the front? So I use this thing on several fence lines. You know, birds always land on the wire and they drop little seeds and trees grow up all in the fence. That works great for cutting those 2, 3, 4 inch trees out of a fence row. You just clip them off, drag them out of the way, and go stack them. I also made several little roads and trails and just widened some of my trails that I've already had. And trails that I made, you know, over the last couple of years when I had the extreme duty brush cutter on the front of one of these, things that extreme duty brush cutter couldn't cut, so I'd just go around and my trails would kind of meander through the woods. Well, with something like this, I was able to go in there and clip off those trees that straighten those curves out, have a lot wider road. Gives me a lot bigger fire break. I can get equipment in there, maintain those roads and trails a little bit better, because we do use fire, prescribed fire, as a way of maintaining our property. So I like to have those trails through the woods so that we can divide pieces of timber up and burn smaller acreages at a time. It's a lot easier to handle 3 to 5 acres by myself than it is a 20-acre block. So I'm blown away. I'm always blown away every time I have one of these Kubota skid steers out here. They just have so much power. It's incredible. I absolutely love working on those things. I'm a state trooper in my day job in law enforcement. I can't really see the progress from my work day. At the end of the day, when I get home, I can't look back and go, there's what I did. When I get on something like that, I can see my progress, no problems at all. So you guys might have seen me come in and clip off a lot of those cedar trees, which are the evergreen juniper trees. We call them eastern red cedar technically. And what I would try to do when I would find a clump of those is stack them together. And really, that's not just making burn piles. I pushed a lot of that stuff into the trees, into the timber, and then stacked it, and I'd have 4, 5, 6 trees stacked together. And there was a meaning behind my madness there, or a method behind my madness there. I wasn't just making a burn pile. I didn't really pile anything up just to burn, but that's creating good habitat for things like squirrels and rabbits and quail and lots of just little small game to get into and nest and hide and things like that to stay away from predators. If we go in and we clean everything up and we clean up around all the trees and just make open fields, that takes away a lot of the natural habitat for those small game. So when I take and put 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cedar trees in a pile in the timber, just think about all the cover that provides for small game and birds and all that kind of stuff. So we're not just out here destroying the habitat. That is not my goal. I absolutely love building good habitat for the wildlife, and I think stacking those cedar trees like that is a really good way to create some good habitat. So that's about gonna wrap it up for me and the tree shear. This thing is insane, guys. So it's made by a company called M&M. It's called a HydroClip HC16. Now, I don't know a lot about the company that makes that product, but as you guys know, I partnered with Great Plains Kubota and GP Rents. They've got 5 and soon to be 6 locations around central and southern Oklahoma. They're actually opening up a new store in Norman, Oklahoma in the next month or 2. I'm not exactly sure on their opening date, but having that Norman store is going to open up a lot of rental possibilities for people. Norman's a huge area, a huge populated area. Anyways, Great Plains Kubota, GP Rents, thank you so much for sponsoring this video. Thanks for partnering with our YouTube channel. Guys, if you're anywhere in central or southern Oklahoma or North Texas and you're looking for good equipment to buy, you can get it from Great Plains Kubota or rent. That's my preference. I love being able to just go rent something like this, because that tree shear right there, honestly, For most people on a small property, why would you need to buy something like that? It's just gonna sit probably 98% of the time. When you can go rent it for a day and get more work done than you could imagine, to me, that just makes sense. I don't buy a lot of equipment, but I love having the option of going and renting it. So guys, be sure to go check out Great Plains Kubota. I'll leave a link to their Facebook page, YouTube channel, all that stuff. If you're in the market for Kubota equipment, check them out. But if you need something, if you just want to go rent something, guys, look them up. You will be blown away. You don't have to be an expert to operate this kind of stuff. I'm not an expert on heavy machinery, I promise you. It's just awesome. I love it. So anyways, guys, that's all I've got for today. It's fixing to get dark, and it's time to get in the house and get supper started. But guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the Kubota skid steer SVL 75 with the tree shear. I know I did. I've had a lot of fun on it today. Guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Y'all have a great day, and as always, we'll see you on the next video.